Welcome back. This is Ritto here with another Terraria Calamity endgame weapon showcase. Today we're going to be looking at the awesome Pulse Rifle. This is a weapon that can be acquired after defeating Yharon the Jungle Dragon Phase 2 because it requires Auric Tesla Bars, and it is part of the Draedon's arsenal. So this is a 1.4.5 weapon from the Calamity Rust and Dust update. In this video, I want to take a look at what this weapon can do, try it on some bosses, and show how to craft this awesome endgame weapon. First, let's take a look at the tooltip. It shows 19,991 range damage with 100% critical strike chance, and that's with the Auric Tesla ranged gear, and then kind of my normal accessories of the Celestial Tracers, Asgardian Aegis, Rampart of Deities, Elemental Quiver, the Sponge, Community, and Core of the Blood God. And all of those are rolled to menacing with a bunch of buffs active as well. And we've got slow speed on this weapon, no knockback, and it says Draedon's former pulse rifle, used in emergencies for creations which turned against him. When the pulse rifle hits a target, it arcs to other nearby targets, and it inflicts exceptional damage against inorganic targets. Current charge is showing 100%. I also have another one rolled to demonic as well with 0% charge, and you can see the damage is 14,900 versus almost 20,000. And one thing to note is that even with 0% charge, you can still fire this weapon, no problem. So you don't have to worry about always having it charged if you're just using it on weak enemies. But if you're using it in a boss fight like with Supreme Calamitas, I would definitely recommend charging it. So now let's take a look at what type of damage this can do against a single target dummy. So we're showing, oh my gosh, 1,100,000 damage. That is insane. 1.3 million damage. That is so crazy. Now let's try this on an improved dummy from the Louis AFK mod. And I just had to stop shooting so I could look at this and make sure that I'm getting the decimal places right, but it looks like it's doing 153 million damage per second. This might be a bug with the Louis AFK mod, but yeah, 156 million damage per second. I think this is bugged. It's gotta be bugged. I don't know what's going on with the damage. Wow, I have never seen a weapon do that much damage, although I doubt it will do that sort of damage against a boss or something like that. If we've got two target dummies right here, you can see I'm splitting between both of them. And let's try putting another one on the left side and see how many it can split between. Maybe we'll put one a little bit closer. This definitely doesn't split the same way that the Tesla cannon does. It seems like it kind of chooses one target nearby, bounces and hits that other target. Next, let's take a look at how to charge this weapon. All you need to have is a fuel factory and a charging station. Both of these can be obtained in the labs throughout the world in the 1.4.5 update. And then you'll be able to produce power cells. All you need to do is put down your fuel factory and it will slowly produce power cells. And when you have a few of those, you see we've got one right there, we can open up the charging station, place our rifle in there. You can see we've already got it down to 68%. And let's put some batteries and it will begin charging. And already it's up to 75% and it will be up to 100 in no time. So next, let's try this out on Providence and see what type of damage it can do. So it's doing over 100,000 damage, pretty good. Making quick work of Providence. And that's it. Very strong. Next, let's try this in the solar eclipse and see how well it does. So this one, you definitely have to aim a lot, but when you hit these shots, you can really do some damage against these. I am noticing a slight lag spike when I use the Elemental Quiver, and when it procs, we'll lose a couple frames. So it may be worthwhile switching to something different. Like we could switch to the Amalgam or whatever. I guess we could try the Affliction instead. And this should keep our frames a lot more stable and consistent. Now let's take a look at the crafting recipe for this awesome weapon. The pulse rifle can be crafted with the Draedon's Forge, and it requires 20 mysterious circuitry, 20 dubious plating, and 4 Auric Tesla bars. Like the other Draedon arsenal weapons, it's quite easy to craft and quite powerful. Now let's head over to our arena and test this out against Supreme Calamitas. So let's start this up and give this a try. One thing I'm doing just like last time is I've got 2 of these weapons in my inventory. The recipe is so simple you might as well craft 2. and have 2 charged up. And that way, as you get low on charge, you can switch between them, and it will make it much easier. So one thing is, you got to be a little bit more aware of your aim when you're doing these orbs, but it's not too bad. And once when you do hit one, a lot of times it will shoot between the others. So I think we might be missing one up in the corner here, and probably one over here. Okay, that was pretty good. And now let's see what type of damage we can do against Supreme Calamitas. Oh my gosh, we're doing really well. Over 100,000 on almost every hit. We had 120,000 there for a second. You do have to be pretty precise, but the hitbox is pretty big on this too because it's kind of a thick effect. And another thing I forgot to mention earlier is that you don't actually need bullets for this weapon. All you need is to have it charged, and you'll be able to do really good damage. And just like that, we've gotten through phase 1. And there we go with some adrenaline, doing really good damage. And already to 50%. It's just very consistently powerful, really easy to land shots with. Unfortunately, we're pretty low on health, so we got to be really careful. We got orbs spawning too. Okay, let's do some adrenaline and try to get some of these shots splitting. That will help quite a bit. I really wish it would shoot through walls because it's a bit tricky to have Supreme Calamitas leave the arena and not be able to do damage. Okay, well, we are almost to the next phase. Ooh. This is getting pretty crazy. Okay, we're really struggling with orbs. Wow, we still don't have orbs defeated. No, we were so close to a heal. Overall, you can see this weapon is really good against Supreme Calamitas. The only part I was struggling with was defeating the orbs because you really have to land the hits perfectly. And the problem with it is you can land them pretty well if you're up here in this corner, but you kind of have to be doing circles and stuff, and so when you're down below, it's very hard to just kind of shoot blindly and hit those orbs. So I would switch to something that's a little bit more homing, like the Magnomaly Cannon, or run up here with the Photo Viscerator and knock out those orbs, and then maybe switch back to this weapon, because it really does well against the other parts of the fight. And it is viable overall, because it's not that bad to kill the orbs. I was just struggling with it. I had to do like 5 or 6 circles to eventually defeat the orbs, and that really messed up my fight. And that's it for the awesome pulse rifle weapon. It was really fun to test this weapon out today. It's very powerful. It had crazy target damage, DPS, but I think that was a little bit bugged. It is very fun to use and easy to craft, so I would definitely recommend it for anyone playing as a ranged class, or even people who reach the end game and decide they want to switch to ranged. This is a really easy, accessible item to craft, since all you'll need is Auric Tesla and that Dubious Plating and Mysterious Circuitry. I hope you found this video informative and enjoyable. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. I also post lots of other Terraria content like showcase videos, and I'm working on a Calamity Death Mode rogue playthrough, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.